First, this is the introduction for the ENERCOM project. The ENERCOM standing for Energy Community Facility. This is a project that started in 2024, and it's a consortium of the main actors that are already involved in the development in energy community around Europe. For the one we know is like the RISCOOP that we had the presentation last year, like the pioneer into creating energy communities in Europe. Their presentation is available online if you want to check in English, if you want to check their intervention from last summer. And the Energy City that will be involved in the capacity building program later on. The goal of the ENERCOM project is to develop the energy community all around Europe. The project is has a dedicated budget dedicated to support 140 developing energy community to help them to give them the resources to write their own business plan and see the sustainability of the project for each energy community. Now, the energy community, this is a notion that comes from the Green Deal that unfortunately is not yet, this part is not yet applicable into the Icelandic law. So, and this is the definition from the EU law. There is two kinds of energy community, a renewable energy community and a citizen energy community. For this project, as long as you're an energy community, there's no difference for the application process. This is how it is translated for now, but it has not been applied into the Icelandic law yet, meaning that there is no legal framework for energy community in Iceland yet. The challenges for this energy community, those are like the traditional challenges back in Europe when the concept is already developed. But for the Icelandic particularity is we are the very last country in Europe which has no energy community registered yet, meaning that our main challenging today on the national level is to create the first one, to establish the first one. So, and it comes with all the process of creating it from the administrative point of view. Now a word about the grants. The grants is a grant of 45,000 euro that will be attributed to the energy community that is an idea to develop a new concept in their community. This for the beneficiary. It also comes with the capacity building program that is mandatory to attend, to write this business plan, the business plan that is the deliverable of the project for the beneficiaries, and the resources, especially the network and and some funding opportunities. Then, once this business plan will be done, it's a tool for the management of the energy community to reach out to investment in order to finance and implement the idea that was developed during the business plan, during the design of the business plan. The ENERCOM project, as we mentioned earlier, is a 2-year. For now, is a 2-year two calls once per year. The first call was last year. The submission was over the summer. And this new call will be the second one. The first one for this round is open since the 5th of May and will be submitted before the 5th of July, in 6 weeks, at 5 p.m. CET times. That will be 3 p.m. for us. For this call, the goal is to distribute 71 grants to 71 different organizations. This is a lump sum grant, meaning that this money, this budget is meant to develop the business plan, but it is at the discretion of the beneficiaries how it is used, and there is no how to say, no control about how it has been spent, as long as the deliverable is following up the business plan. Now, how is the ENERCOM project supporting the beneficiaries? First, there is the first financial support with the lump sum grants. Also, all the capacity building program that will support the beneficiaries about all the different chapters to establish the business plan. So this is an online training program where each chapter of the business plan will be developed and explained in depth with all the beneficiaries, so they can lead to assist them into the writing and the design of the business plan. Also give visibility among other energy community already established in Europe. Also, as I mentioned before, some opportunity for funding, that be like making connection with some funding opportunity. We will see two of them at the end of this presentation. And also some assistance with the local legislative framework. As we mentioned before, in Iceland, this framework doesn't exist yet, so this assistance is not maybe beneficial. Anything like this is more flexible in Iceland. Now, about the eligibility criteria. Who can apply for these grants? First, only an entity that is already established can apply for the grants, meaning no individuals. The entity that is applying for the grant must follow the definition of the energy community according to the EU definition. We will review this definition in a second. The third criteria is the applicants, the structure that is applying must be established in one of the EU country, plus the country that is not part of EU but are still eligible for the LIFE project, meaning Iceland, Ukraine, Moldova, and North Macedonia. Fourth criteria is during the application process, there is a template to fill to commit, if you ever get a beneficiary, to attend the capacity building program. And finally, if you get the beneficiary, the grant must be spent to develop the business plan. So these are as mentioned before, these are the cities where the energy community must be established yet. So Iceland is part of it. And here is a reminder of what is an energy community. It is they are citizen-driven legal entities, meaning it's a group of individual small businesses, possibly local governments. They can be part of the it is very important that they can be part of the energy community, but they must not manage it. And this group will come together in order to share, produce resources and energy that could benefit all the members of the community. Those benefits could be financial or social or environmental. One very straightforward example that is very, very simple is if we take into consideration a husfjellag that would decide to install solar panel on the top of the roof, then every single member of the husfjellag will get their energy bill reduced. So the idea is every member of the energy community has a right, as an equal part into the decision making, and all of them will benefit from the program. A word about that. It will be all kind of energy-related projects that could be to the production of electricity, but also there is different program into building renovations in order to get building more energy efficient, and this building would benefit the whole community. I will invite you to check the presentation we had last year when they described the renovation they did into a historic monument in the Netherlands. What is specific to the ENERCOM project is there is a national expert in every single country that is where the grant is eligible. And so I am the national expert for Iceland, and our role is to advertise for the grant in Iceland, assist all the applicants into the process of applying, answer all your questions. Later on, once the application is closed, we will have a more detail later on. We will perform a feasibility check for a short list of applicants, and then we will assess in the local context if the project is realistic. And very important, we cannot write the application, and we do not have any say into the decision into the final beneficiaries. And finally, we will assist the beneficiaries into the development of the business plan once the agreement is signed. You will find you have my contact for Iceland into the ENERCOM project website. You will find all the address, and you can contact all the experts in all the countries there into the apply menu. Now a word about the application process and the evaluation. So, as we mentioned before, energy communities is a concept that is not equally developed in Europe. There are countries which is very developed. They call the high uptake countries, which have already dozens or hundreds of energy community registered and are very comfortable, and it's like the concept is very well known, against the low uptake country, which face more difficulties into developing and establishing energy community. This means that about we are not competing Iceland with no energy community yet. Will not be competing with Spain or Portugal, which is already like hundreds of them already registered. Be two different calls. So as we mentioned before, the call is open since the 5th of May, and the deadline is on the 5th of July. Over the period of over summer, the project will make a first will establish the first short list of applicants, especially for the eligibility. Then then in October we will know the beneficiaries that have been selected for this second call. Before the end of the year, the grant agreement will be signed between the energy community and the ENERCOM projects. And then the first half of 2027 will be on the business plan developments. And then there will be surveys to be filled all along the process. Where to apply? We apply into the website directly. So the website of the energy community facility.eu. There's the button on the top of the page. You cannot miss it. It's like apply now. Here in apply, there's also two documents that you may want to read before getting into the application form. Is the guideline, especially the guideline and the question, the frequently asked question. This second document is being updated regularly. Now, as mentioned, this is the second time this grant is affected, and there is already some feedback from the first call. So in 2025, 73 grant has been granted across Europe in 23 countries. Unfortunately, there was no grant allocated in Iceland. We mentioned before, there's like two different groups. So there was a total of a bit less than 700 application total. And here we see the high uptake countries, the ones who are already very familiar with the concept, where more than 500 application arrived against 150 for the low uptake countries. For the high uptake countries, the allocation rate is about 8% against 20% in the low uptake countries, such as Iceland. I really encourage you to apply. Now here are the mistakes that were spotted during the first call. First of all, so to pass the eligibility check on the EU, on the Energy Community Project website, there is a self-assessment for the eligibility check. I would encourage to have a look at it to see if the organization that will be applying is eligible. Into the process, there is all the paperwork to prove that the applicant is a legal entity. It has to be uploaded with the application. The application will be in English. There is no problem into using AI. Just check it before. Just review it what AI says, really. These connect immediately with the point 6 and 7. Make sure that the application is clear and not use a lot of wording for for little content. So we really no problem into using AI, but very review the information to make sure it is precise. Some mistake were that some application were for the grant is to develop a business plan. Some applications were clear that they were not would not be used to develop a business plan. So the focus of this grant is really to develop a business plan to see the energy and make sure that the energy community will be sustainable. Also, use the templates that are providing into the application process. Now, here is what we mentioned a bit earlier, the documents that are available in the ENERCOM project websites. The guideline for the applicant, when we'll find more information and about each section in each chapter that are need to be filled into the application, and the Q&A, where you can find valuable answer to your questions. Now so we mentioned that the ENERCOM project will lead the beneficiary to access to some funding opportunities that are. This is one of that has been identifying one of the difficulties that the energy communities are facing now into financing the implementation of their projects. This the development of energy community is right now discussed in Europe and supported. The first one is the Citizen Energy Advisory Hub that provide a technical assistance, and the next call will be in September. The next funding opportunity that need to be noted for the development of the energy community is homegrown energy, and this is a series of webinars that will take place yesterday and over the summer. So this is for the presentation today. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, Marianne. This is very clear.